डियर फ्रेंड्स, स्वागत है आपका हमारे यूट्यूब चैनल BKG ट्रेवल्स एंड फूड में। इस समय हम हैं सवाना में। सवाना जॉर्जिया राज्य का एक शहर है। यह अमेरिका के अंदर स्थित है। ये जॉर्जिया राज्य का सबसे बड़ा सी पोर्ट है, या यूँ कहिए बंदरगाह है। यहाँ पर दुनिया भर से जहाज़, मालवाहक जहाज़ आते जाते रहते हैं। अभी हम क्रूज़ के अंदर बैठे हैं और क्रूज़ से सवाना रिवर का किनारे साइट सीइंग का टूर करेंगे। आप भी हमारे साथ करिए। ये रिवर, सवाना रिवर अटलांटिक महासागर में से मिलती है और जो भी जहाज़ यहाँ से आते जाते हैं वो अटलांटिक सागर में होकर ही जाते आते हैं। सामने आप जो पुल देख रहे हैं, ये बहुत ही ऊंचा पुल बना हुआ है। इस पुल के नीचे से ही मालवाहक जहाज़ बड़े बड़े आते जाते रहते हैं। इसका कारण ये है कि यहाँ जो सी पोर्ट बना हुआ है वो पुल के उस पार है। इस वजह से जहाज़ इस पुल के नीचे से होकर निकलते रहते हैं।
Open up for those life jackets. We have children's life jackets located in white deck boxes all the way at the back of the fourth deck. Additional life jackets, children's life jackets can be found on the back of the third deck as well, white deck boxes. You'll find more adult life jackets located under the stairs leading from the third to the fourth deck, which doors in the back of those stairs that open up for those adult life jackets. Now the interior of the first and second decks are closed for this trip. Nonetheless, there are life jackets located inside each deck. They're all located all the way at the back of the ballroom. There's a closet of those sections filled with adult life jackets. But during this trip, if you happen to see a dorsal fin coming out of the water, it's not like the movie Jaws there. It's actually a Atlantic bottlenose dolphin. Because this time of year, we have about 800 or 900 dolphins in the Savannah area. They migrate in when the water reaches about 65 degrees. And they'll hang out here till that water drops again to about 65 degrees. Because with that warm water and this nutrient-rich water, what we get a lot of small fish, especially the midhavens and mullets, and those are two favorite fish of the dolphins. So they migrate in here every spring, hanging out till about the fall. So we see those on about 90% of our trips here. So a little bit about the history of the city of Savannah, just to give context to our tour. The city of Savannah was founded in 1733 by General James Oglethorpe, who was commissioned by King George II, King of England, to found the 13th colony, being Georgia here in the Americas, and Savannah being the first city in Georgia. Now, the primary reason for the founding of Savannah was a military mission. It was going to be the first line of defense to help protect the port of Charleston, up in Charleston, South Carolina, from the Spanish who were occupying Florida at the time. So there are a lot of military characteristics of our downtown area, besides our founder being a military person, General James Oglethorpe. Focus has definitely changed here in Savannah. We're not so much of a military town. However, we still have Hunter Army Airfield located about 3 miles from here. But we have become more of a shipping city. In fact, we've grown into the 3rd busiest shipping port in the United States. Long Beach, Los Angeles is by far the busiest. The 2nd busiest is Newark, New Jersey, and we are the 3rd busiest. And now we are the 3rd busiest for overall tonnage of cargo coming through the port. We are actually the busiest for exports, meaning more goods leave the port of Savannah than any other port in the United States. Now, how did Savannah become such a busy port? Well, it all has to do with geography and infrastructure. First off, the geography is how far west we are. As far as your major East Coast port cities go, we are the furthest west on the East Coast. We're so far west, we're actually due south of Cleveland, Ohio. The other factor is our train rail system, our infrastructure of train tracks around here, as well as the infrastructure of highway. So what it really boils down to is it's just a lot simpler, a lot more cobblestone roads there. And that is no accident. Our historic district is the highest point in Savannah. It's actually 42 feet above sea level. Because if you were ever in a military skirmish, that's exactly 1700s. The focus has definitely changed here in Savannah. We're not so much of a military town. However, we still have Hunter Army Airfield located about 3 miles from here. But we have become more of a shipping city. In fact, we've grown into the 3rd busiest shipping port in the United States. Long Beach, Los Angeles is by far the busiest. The 2nd busiest is Newark, New Jersey, and we are the 3rd busiest. And now we are the 3rd busiest for overall tonnage of cargo coming through the port. We are actually the busiest for exports, meaning more goods leave the port of Savannah than any other port in the United States. Now, how did Savannah become such a busy port? Well, it all has to do with geography and infrastructure. First off, the geography is how far west we are. As far as your major East Coast port cities go, we are the furthest west on the East Coast. We're so far west, we're actually due south to Cleveland, Ohio. The other factor is our train rail system, our infrastructure of train tracks around here, as well as the infrastructure of highway. So what it really boils down to is it's just a lot simpler, a lot more convenient. The largest operating vessels on the East Coast. Cargo vessels have surpassed the size of aircraft carriers. Our cargo vessels here in Savannah can be up to 1,300 feet long. Just to give you a reference of what a 1,300-foot ship looks like, the one we're passing by here up the left side, the port side of the boat currently, is only around 750 feet long. So we're talking about an additional 550-foot long vessel compared to this one here at the dock. Now we do get several types of different cargo vessels, different styles here in Savannah. Now the biggest cargo vessels are known as container ships. So what they are carrying is something called a container. What a container is, it's essentially the back of a semi-truck minus the axles and wheels. You can see small containers, 20-foot container modules stacked up on the deck of this vessel right here. The Startup Bridge has a clearance of 188 feet at high tide. It was completed back in 1991. But as vessels have continued to get bigger and bigger, once again, our bridge is no longer sufficient. This bridge can accommodate about 60% of the ships coming through at any time of the day. However, that last 40% of the vessels coming through here they're so tall up in the air and so deep underneath the water, they only have a 20 to 30 minute window of opportunity for fitting to this span right here. Basically waiting on the tide. When the tide is high enough, they'll safely clear the bottom of the river, but not so high that they risk hitting the bottom of the bridge there. So Savannah is anticipating building a bigger bridge here. It's got an estimated cost of about $2 billion, that's with a B. To build a bigger bridge, it'll take about 5 or 6 years to build that bridge in this place here. But with that, they're expecting an economic impact of about $14 billion, and that Savannah will become the most efficient, busiest shipping port here on the Atlantic coast. All right, well, that's enough about the economy there. We're going to talk about history as we make our way back towards the historic district. Starting with these docks right here off the starboard side, the right side of the boat, these piers, this warehouse. This is Ocean Terminals 1 and 2. And this is technically the oldest continuously operating dock here in Savannah of the bridge there. So Savannah is anticipating building a bigger bridge here. It's got an estimated cost of about $2 billion, that's with a B. To build a bigger bridge, it'll take about 5 or 6 years to build that bridge in this place here. But with that, they're expecting an economic impact of about $14 billion, and that Savannah will become the most efficient, busiest. Burn any unnecessary fuel. All right, what you're looking at, come out here on the right side of the boat, starboard side of the boat, this is Plant Riverside. And this has not always been such a happening party place. This actually was Savannah's power plant. It opened up in 1912. It was actually Savannah's second power plant. The first one was built in the 1890s on the same spot. This one completed in 1912, opened for business, and it actually supplied Savannah its power until 2005. It was then taken offline and repurposed. Indian gators are not native to that area. There are no natural predators for them as well. So all those baby gators that were born are free to grow up into rather large gators over there on the island. So definitely take caution if you go over to Hutchinson Island about the gator population over there. In fact, if you do go there on the sidewalk, you will see reminders about every 100 or 150 feet signs they finally had to post just to say stay on the sidewalk, because you can see that terrain over there is almost perfect camouflage for gators. They don't move around a lot. In fact, they sit perfectly still for hours and hours on end unless they're actually hunting. So it's very easy to stumble upon a gator over there on Hutchinson Island. Alright, we got another ship here on the right-hand side of the boat, starboard side of the boat. Now this is a break bulk carrier designed for carrying bulk items. This ship came in about 3 days ago. It's unloading. Now it can't just unload every one of its compartments at the same time. And actually, if you shift too much weight around, it actually risks rolling over there at the dock. So they have to very strategically unload it one compartment at a time. Very slow process. It takes about 7 days.
डियर फ्रेंड्स, देखिए कितना बड़ा जहाज है। ये पुल के नीचे से क्रॉस कर रहा है। इस जहाज में बहुत सारे कंटेनर लदे हुए हैं और लगभग 6-7 मंजिला ऊंचा जहाज है। ये पुल के नीचे से क्रॉस कर रहा है और इसी रास्ते से ये अटलांटिक ओशन में जाएगा। इस जहाज़ से आप इस पुल की ऊंचाई का अंदाज़ा आराम से लगा सकते हैं। इस सवाना रिवर को गहरा कर बड़े बड़े जहाज़ों के आने लायक बना दिया गया है, जिससे कि बड़े बड़े जहाज़ पोर्ट पर आसानी से आ जा सकें। हम सवाना में अटलांटिक ओशन के किनारे बीच देखने आए हुए थे, तो हमको वो बड़ा शिप कंटेनर वाला यहाँ अटलांटिक ओशन में दिखा। आप भी देखिए कितनी दूर से वो नज़र आ रहा है। ये उसको हमने जूम किया है, देखिए वो MSC उस पर लिखा हुआ था, इस पर लिखा हुआ है। वही जहाज़ है ये जो हमको रिवर में मिला था पोर्ट से आते हुए। दोस्तों, अमेरिका के अंदर हर बीच पर इस तरह से लकड़ी के बोर्ड वॉक बनाए हुए हैं जिससे आप काफ़ी दूर तक समुद्र के अंदर आ सकें और समुद्री लहरों का आनंद खड़े होकर ले सकें। आप भी देखिए ये बोर्ड वॉक है, इस पर खड़े होकर हम समुद्री लहरों का आनंद ले रहे हैं। आप भी हमारे साथ देखिए।
कहीं ना कहीं पोर्ट पे रुकते भी होंगे ना, किसी पोर्ट पे तो रुकते होंगे
दोस्तों, यदि आपको हमारा ये वीडियो पसंद आया हो तो कृपया हमारे चैनल को लाइक करिए, सब्सक्राइब करिए और बेल आइकॉन बटन दबाइए। थैंक्स फॉर वाचिंग वीडियो।